how to know if you're ready for ads. This is also something that's always in consideration when I serve clients with ads services. I asked Shop Success Central a little while ago what is number one, if I could talk about and share some information with you. The number one asked topic was how to know if you're ready for ads or what traffic platform to choose. And I know that ads can feel elusive, mysterious, or maybe a hurdle that you don't feel comfortable with. So I want to talk about ads and then just choosing a traffic channel in general. My goal with this is not to make you feel like you need to figure this out overnight. And my goal with this also is not for you to feel like you need to go and do ads. It's actually coming from a completely neutral place on if I think you should do ads or not is really not the question. It's just so that you have an understanding of what foundations can be in place to run successful ads. So just as a little bit of context, I do provide Facebook ad services, TikTok ad services, and occasionally on the Pinterest platform, occasionally on the Google platform. And so I'm coming at this from like an ads manager lens and not only just that I know you want to sell more of your products and sell them quickly. The reason I say that is because one of the number one things I see e-commerce businesses struggle with when you're doing it yourself is that everything I'm going to talk about is stuff that like ads experts know how to do, but also they change like the tide because our platform and our backend tech, I'm sure you can agree, changes all the time, whether Klaviyo changes or the user interface for Instagram, organic changes, like these platforms change all the time. And so one of the hurdles I see for people DIYing and getting results is that they need to have that expert awareness, like you don't know what you don't know. I just want it to be parked in the curriculum. And when you're ready to digest this concept of spending money on ads, you can have realistic expectations of getting started. That being said, some people have amazing results as soon as they turn on ads, and that is phenomenal. Also, that being said, some people can have amazing products and maybe ads aren't going to be profitable for them. And that's really what I'm approaching here with this ads real talk is one that you at least have the baseline foundations of what it is to run ads. And then two, that you have expectations that make sense for your business so you can make a good choice. I call this ads real talk because if my best friend was starting an online store, I would want to make sure I could either control this aspect for her or that she knew where she needed to look in order to get started successfully. Let's talk about marketing tech. A lot of marketing is tech and connecting the things and knowing where to click the buttons that do all of this hard work for us on the internet. As far as marketing tech goes, you do have access to the Shopify Growth Essentials free course in Shop Success Central. Participate, make a post, we'll be there to cheer for you, and you will be able to unlock Shopify Growth Essentials free course. And so in there, I do cover some of these topics here. I generally recommend that you go ahead and get your pixels installed for Meta, TikTok, Pinterest, and Google, just so that, and meaning get all those marketing connections started, getting them connected. You might find there you have some hoops to jump through, and I would rather you have that data starting to be collected than wait until you're ready. And now you have no historical data happening on the back end while people are exploring your site. And then Google Analytics, I would definitely recommend connecting your Google and YouTube channel in your Shopify store. Just, again, let it marinate there, even if you're not ready to take next steps with some of those ecosystems. But getting them connected will save you some time. And again, maybe there's a point that you need to clear up before you can even consider using that channel. And then you would know now. And then all your policies in place as far as your privacy and your terms and your shipping. So there are some policies there. Again, I mentioned those in the free course. Okay, so the purchase funnel is something that I want you to have an understanding of when it comes to ads. And to go really further into that, I do have a YouTube video. It is titled Increase Your Shopify Conversion Rate. And it talks about the purchase funnel, which is traffic, add to cart, initiate checkout, and conversions. So I want you to have an understanding of that, because once you turn on a traffic channel, whether you go viral on TikTok or you turn on ads and you're getting paid traffic to your site, what I want you to have an eye on is your purchase funnel, so that you can see where you could start making improvements. When you're building your store, you're building your products, and you're getting your first few hundred sales or your first few thousand in revenue, you're building that data that's going to show you, what could I do to get more add to carts? Why am I getting a lot of traffic but not as many conversions as I would like? So go watch that video to get a foundational understanding of why that's important. I would love to see, in an ideal world, that your on-site conversion rate is over 1% for 30 to 90 days before you run ads. Now, if your niche is notoriously low conversion, or if this could also be if you have very high price point, like in the thousands for your products, you might want to look at some benchmarks. But broad rule of thumb, I would like to see that your conversion rate is definitely over 1% before you turn on ads. That being said, some people can start a store, start running ads, and get success, but I'm here to give you the advice I'd give my best friend, and I'd like to see it over 1% to say that your ads are going to be profitable for you. From there, optimize your product page, optimize any landing pages where you're going to send people specifically. Maybe you want to send them to more of a designed page that tells your story, and make sure your homepage is optimized. And typically, I don't run ads straight to a homepage, but the way users interact with ads is they might be on Facebook and they're like, oh, I want to go, what was that site? I'm just going to go type it over here. Or they put their phone down and they think later, oh, I saw Becky's stickers, I'm going to go check it out, not from a Facebook ad. Or some people are just going to go Google the product that they saw in an ad outside of the Facebook ecosystem. And so when people do that, typically they are going to click on your homepage. So I would love for your homepage to be optimized. When I go to your homepage, do I know exactly what you're selling as soon as I look at it on my phone or on desktop? So as far as like optimizing your site, that's what I would look at. Again, go to your YouTube after this and take a look at my conversion rate video and let me know what questions you have on that. And then, of course, I would love your email to be all in ship shape. Email can really be the frosting on the cake and help take your ROI even further when you spend money on ads. And the reason is that when you spend money on ads, a percentage, 1, 2, 3, 4% of people who come to your site who are cold, who have never seen you before, may purchase for the first time. So we still have lots of room to capture people's email addresses who are interested but not purchasing today. When you have an awesome incentive in place and people can easily get on your email list or understand what it is you're giving them in exchange for their email address, you can start messaging them. And so if they never see an ad again, they are still getting messages from you. Super important, in my opinion, to get your maximum return on investment from ads is get your emails in place. So the incentive is installed. You have that welcome sequence. If you're not sure about what to put in your welcome sequence, you can join the email ride along workshop to do that. And then you want, at minimum, your abandoned cart and your abandoned checkout emails set up, because those are very hot people who are going to be very close to making a purchasing decision. Definitely, we can talk further if you have questions on segmenting your email list for ads. This is something that Klaviyo integrates with Facebook very well. For a lot of this ads conversation, I'm speaking to Facebook because it's done very well. They just released their quarter 3 2024 results in Facebook ads and revenue are on the upswing. And so in general, it's a great place to start. There's lots of information online about running Facebook ads. Not that all of it's awesome information, but I just find it's typically where people are thinking of starting. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. But my point is that Klaviyo and Facebook, as well as the other social channels that I've mentioned, Klaviyo syncs your list well. And one of my favorite things to do is retarget. And if we have an email list, we can do some really great opportunities for retargeting and other more advanced ad strategies. So email is definitely something, as I said, it's like the frosting on the cake for your return on investment, because if you can capture and have conversations with people who aren't purchasing today, you will warm them up, nurture them, whatever you want to call it, via email messaging. You are going to want to have an ad account live and happy. So typically most people won't be able to decide on Monday that they're going to run ads and then run an ad on Monday unless your account is already set up. If I were you starting from scratch, I would probably want to set aside some time to make sure you have, for Facebook and most of the platforms, you need a business manager account. And then claim your page. You're going to want to claim a Facebook page and a professional Instagram account. And then from there, get your ad account set up so that it's all copacetic. A lot of this can be done. Actually, I recommend you start on the Shopify side for all of these integrations and follow the prompts in the Shopify ecosystem. And I will tell you, I've recorded this process probably 5 times. And by the time it's time for me to post it, sometimes the interface looks a little bit different. But I can tell you that typically, as long as there's no restrictions on any access that you have to your platforms, follow the prompts within the Shopify sales channels apps for Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, Google, and it will lead you through correct installation. With Meta, there are some further steps you can take, but to achieve what we're talking about here today, you can get your ad account ready in an afternoon, as long as, like I said, you don't have any restrictions on being able to access your Facebook account. That's a whole other topic that I'm happy to help you with. But definitely start in Shopify is my number one tip there with those integrations and getting set up. Now, business revenue, let's talk money. So cost of goods is identified, cost per purchase target is identified, your margins are profitable, and you have a testing budget. So let's talk money. Your cost of goods means you have an understanding of when you sell your products, what it costs you to sell your products and get them to a customer, and what kind of profit you have on that. If you don't know that for every single product, I would start attacking it by category or collection that you have, and then continuing to get more granular. A lot of clients I work with have this already identified on a spreadsheet. Now, I don't need that information per se. I just typically will ask somebody who I'm running ads for, what is your most profitable product or product line? What are your cost of goods? And the reason why is because after working with lots of business owners on their ads, I know that I could be getting results selling something in their ads. Hey, we found a winner. However, that's not their most profitable product. And we could find more profit by running ads to something else or a different offer per se. So with your business revenue, your cost of goods, how much does it cost to get something to somebody and how much are you making from that? Then we have something called cost per purchase, which is the next level of that concept, because you want to know your average order value and how much of that profit are you willing to spend on getting a new customer. And so it's typical to have to spend money to get a new customer, whether it's time and energy and content output, or if it's ad spend to pay for traffic. But for cost per purchase, I would love for you to know, based on your profit, where do you want to be when it comes to how much we can anticipate it costing to get a new customer. For example, if your average order value is $100 and you make $50 every time somebody spends $100 with you, so your cost of goods is $50. When we get started with the ads and you have no data, you're not really going to know exactly what you can expect per purchase when you run conversion ads. But you can say now, well, if I go over $50, I need to know that customer is going to come back soon. Again, this is where email marketing, a plan in place, is going to be the return on investment, another angle to get return on investment. But if you spend over $50, you're actually not making any money on ads until that customer comes back. Cost per purchase target is going to be different for everybody. I'm happy to answer more questions about this if you have that question, but you would need to know your cost of goods to have that conversation. And the reason why this is important is because you could be spending money on ads, but not actually being profitable by the time you acquire a new customer. When I work with clients, my goal within the first 3 months, if they've never run ads before, is to let's hone in on where we can expect our cost per purchase target to be, so that you can continue to pay me to run ads, so that you can continue to be profitable, and so that this whole ecosystem, once you have ads at play, makes sense for your bottom line. Obviously, this all requires margins being profitable to keep spending money on ads. I asked this in Shop Success Central. If you had, let's say, $1,000 for a testing budget, if you are DIYing this, what are your expectations going to be with that? If you've never run ads before, if you're just getting your store off the ground, I do want your expectations to be tempered, as far as you're probably, not saying everybody, but you might not get back all $1,000, but you are going to get a lot more data than you would have had if you never started running ads. There's a spectrum in between there, between having massive success the first time you run ads and DIYing your ads and getting to learn the information that you get. You're going to have increase in traffic, increase in comments. You're going to see which products got the most traffic or which images did best in your ads. So there's a lot you will learn with that testing budget. Don't put your last $1,000 into ads expecting it to be able to put money in your pocket. But even if somebody were asking me to spend their first 1,000 on ads, I would want to make sure all of this is in place to have the best results possible. Now, this last point, which is super ideal, is that your email list is over 1,200, or your social following on the platform that you're choosing is over 1,200. If you're doing like a Google, then you want to have more than 1,200 visits a month before this point makes sense. And so what I want to say here is that it is ideal to have an email list over 1,200 because, like I said, Klaviyo can connect to our selling platforms. And the reason why that's interesting is because it can match some of those email addresses to people who are participating on these social platforms. And the reason why that's awesome is because I get ads for things that I love, because there are data points on me. And the other day I bought my kid a new, it's like for vocabulary. It came with a little game and it came with 180 days of vocabulary. It's like, this is awesome. What a cool way to start the school year. So obviously, one, I'm a marketer, so maybe this is biased, but two, I like getting serve ads for things that I want to buy and actually need. And so what the platforms can do is match an email address to their activity on their platform. However, for example, on Facebook, you would need about 1,000 people to be able to retarget your customers, but it can't always match 1,000 email addresses. So I recommend if you have around 1,200, you're getting to a place where you can start retargeting and do some more advanced strategies with your email list and ads. That is ads real talk. That's not maybe all the real talk, but I feel like it's enough for today. So go to the free Growth Essentials course, and there's lots of details in there pertaining to point number 1. Understand your purchase funnel, traffic, added cart, initiate checkout, and conversion, or go watch my YouTube video. And then we're doing a lot of conversations in Shop Success Central about your email marketing. Take some time to go dive into an ad account, see what all is in there. And then business kind of 101 as far as how to make money with ads is we need to know some basics about what will be profitable for you. And then a little teaser as to some more advanced strategies are, if you're growing your email list, like I'm highly recommending you do, I would around 1,200 is where you could really sink your teeth into some new strategies or advanced strategies with your ads. So that leads me to where to start if you are considering ads. And when I consult with people, I have a lot more ideas that I'm sifting through, but if I were to narrow it down to 3 ideas that I would recommend to my best friend before she jumps into ads, here's what they would be. Number 1, purchase conversion ads are the ads that are going to get you sales on your website. This is an objective within, like, for example, the Facebook ads ecosystem. Traffic ads are less expensive, but less likely to convert at the same pace as sales ads. So the intention here is that you go in, you tell Facebook, I want sales, not I want traffic or I want video views or any of these other things. You tell Facebook, I want sales on my website. And when you go to set that up, that's one of the first decisions that you can make, and start telling people about your products with visuals and the copy, the words you put on your ad. So a second idea would be to use a lead gen objective. So your objective is leads on your website if you've identified an incentive that is working well for you. So again, your email opt-in is set up on your site. You're noticing people are opting in. That could take an idea for you that you could run ads to grow your email list. As long as your incentive is a hand raiser for somebody who's potentially going to purchase your product, leads could be a great way to grow your email list. And we talk about incentives in the email right along workshop. And then let's talk about retargeting. So retargeting was that last point that I made about your email list size or your social following size. And these are retargeting opportunities as well as having traffic on your store. So retargeting opportunities, you could run sales objectives. So to anyone who is on your site recently or is in your ecosystem, remind them that you have this product. And then another approach could be retargeting for awareness so that you stay top of mind for people once they've been on your site. So those are the 3 ideas that if I were saying, hey, have you thought about ads? Maybe you could go in and set up one of these campaigns to start with that testing budget and see what the data is going to tell you next. Now, all of these points, for the most part, apply to the social channels that we are typically talking about, which is Meta, TikTok, Pinterest, as well as Google. So these concepts apply across the board. They might have different niche words depending on the actual user interface when you build ads. But what I want to address as far as what I teach in Shop Success Central is that find a traffic channel that you're going to commit to, and then that should really be your first consideration as to where you might be running ads. So if you have chosen Pinterest as your traffic channel, you want to start exploring Pinterest ads opportunities. And what that could look like is simply interacting with ads on that platform, because those ads are going to look different than on the other channels. So choose where you are intentionally getting organic traffic from and start exploring ideas around sales objective ads, list growth ads, retargeting or awareness ads within that platform itself. Because if that's where you're getting traffic from and you're having success, you're going to know like what people are looking for and what they like within your own organic content. And typically that can have great success or be a great place to start for your ads strategy if you are going to go there. As far as picking a channel, I would love to talk to you more about this in Shop Success Central as an action item for this video today to take the next steps in your business. If you haven't already chosen a traffic channel, let us know in the community so that we can help you look at your website, look at where the best demographics might be and what makes sense for your business. I love recommending Pinterest because it's not the video editing, trendy dances and sounds that you have to maintain for great Instagram and TikTok growth. Pinterest and email marketing is a great place to start. A lot of the brands that I consult or do ads for specifically have already had great success in one of these channels, which is why I can go in and say, yeah, all of this stuff that I said in ads real talk is definitely covered for you. Or maybe we just have to work on a couple of aspects there. And it looks like you would have great next steps towards having more sales and traffic in your online store with ads. Let us know if you need help choosing an organic channel or if you need better results where you're already posting. And then save this video and reference it when you're like, I might have a testing budget. Where do I really need to start to make sure I have a strong ad strategy?